In a world where magic gives you social status, in a world where magic is the way of life of people lives, a young man who for some reason cannot use it, the perfect combination of Asta and Saitama, my friends with you MASH, an incredibly strong young man, he lives with his father Rigro, a calm and loving father. Like every morning MASH has finished with his training, but this time he asks his father why he always does physical training and never does any magic. His father doesn't know what to answer, just tells us that MASH is a different boy than the others, and then he goes to the city to buy some things. But first he tells his son that for anything in the world go to the city alone, and of course he won't do it. MASH goes to the city for some delicious pastries. On the way he sees how all the people use magic for things that he considers that can be done with their hands. When he gets to the place he pays for his food, but by incredible force he flexes the coins. The guy in the store is shocked, but this is not the worst, because at that moment his face is exposed. All the people around are frightened. Why? Well, because our friend doesn't have any mark on his face, and in case you hadn't noticed, all the people have it, indicating that they can use magic. Now we go to the town sheriff, Brad. He sees in the newspaper that a new student has achieved the title of Divine Enlightened, a title that is given to the most outstanding student in everything. Brad only regrets because he always wanted to be that student, but that only remained in a desire. At that moment he receives a call reporting that a boy without mark has been seen in the city. While MASH is walking around eating his delicious pastries, he meets a troublesome policeman. The guy starts to bother our friend, but MASH kindly offers him a pastry. The guy rejects it, and complains again to MASH for having stained his clothes. He feels guilty for having done it, so he tries to clean it up. At that moment Brad arrives to ask what all the fuss is about. When he sees MASH he realizes that he is the guy they reported, and also mentions that this could be his chance for promotion. But before he can do anything, Rigro arrives just in time to save his son. But Brad is not going to let this opportunity slip away, so he sends a spell in the form of a bird to follow them. At home Rigro scolds his son for having gone to the city by himself, but he knows that he didn't do it with bad intentions. So as a small punishment he sends him to do his training again. MASH apologizes to his father, gives him his rolls, and goes to continue with his training. There is no doubt that MASH is a great son. Rigro sees Brad's spell, and before he can do anything they are already in place. Brad manages to capture Roger, and also explains a little of the history of the kingdom. So pay attention. The world has been able to prosper thanks to magic because the people who can't use it have been eliminated. That kind of people have no right in that world, not even the right to life, and that's why MASH must be eliminated. Brad offers a deal to Rogro. In exchange for giving up his son he will be forgiven. Obviously he won't do that, and at that moment he begins to remember his life. Rogro was always a person mistreated for not being skilled in the use of magic. In his life no one recognized him. All this made Roger depressed to the point of wanting to leave this world. But when he was about to do so he heard the cry of a baby, the cry of MASH. That was the moment that his life changed. At that moment he felt that someone needed him. Although the blood doesn't unite them, MASH is his son. Speaking of him, let's see what he is doing. After his training he arrives home and listens to everything his father said, and just when Roger is about to be sent to the other world, our friend makes his entrance. In less than a minute he manages to defeat 2 policemen. Roger asks him why he didn't leave, to which he answers because they are family. Brad is not going to be moved by these words, and without wasting any more time he prepares a spell, which was able to scare away a dragon. But MASH is stronger than a dragon. After the first attempt Brad goes on and on trying to defeat our friend. But it is useless, he is the Saitama with hair. Finally Brad realizes that he cannot beat him. So he proposes a deal. In exchange that all the police leave him and his father alone, MASH will have to enter one of the most important schools of magic and achieve the title of Enlightened Divided. And so Brad will become rich for all the benefits. MASH doesn't think much and accepts the deal because what he wants most is that his father and he live a quiet life, and that's how the next day our friend is presented to the admission test. The person in charge will be the 7th most powerful student of the place, Lucci. A conceited guy who thinks he is better than others. He observes all applicants. But while doing so there is someone who draws much attention to our friend MASH, accompanied by Rogro and Brad. Lucci introduces himself to all the students. All of them are amazed with him except Mash, and this is more than enough for Lucci to hate our friend, and he will do everything possible to prevent him from entering the school, and starts with the first test, which consists of an exam, but quite different from the others because all the letters are moving and the candidates will have to use their magic to put them in order. Brad and Regro know that this is an impossible test for Mash. Or maybe not. Because Mash with a stroke makes the letters stop and order perfectly, and not only that, Mash passes all the tests without even making an effort. Lucci is more than furious with this, so he prepares a test different from the others, a gigantic labyrinth. The aspirants will have exactly 30 minutes to find the exit, but it will not be so easy because the whole place is full of traps. The test begins and Mash meets a girl named Lemon. She asks him if she can go with him, because between the two of them they can find the exit faster. I don't know about you, but I don't think she wants to help him. It's a trap! On the way, the only one who falls again and again in the traps is Lemon, and besides, this time is running out. At that moment we know the true intentions of the girl. She captures Mash, telling him that she has her reasons to do it, and that she should not try to escape because she won't be able to. But Mash also has his reasons, and without effort he frees himself. Lemon is shocked by the strength of our friend, but now she has other things to worry about because behind her comes the boss of the labyrinth. He begins to tell her a riddle. Lemon tries to use her magic, but the boss is super strong. The only thing she can do is wait for the end. While she does it, she regrets having betrayed Mash. That is her punishment, but when she is about to be eliminated, Mash arrives and with a single blow manages to defeat the boss of the labyrinth. She asks him why he came back, to what our friend answers, saying that if her situation is similar to his he would have been sorry to leave her. Applause from Mash. Now the problem is the time. They must arrive as fast as possible to the goal. Lucci thinks that our friend has already been defeated, but they start to hear a knock, and a few moments later Mash and Lemon arrive to the end. Yes, Mash arrived to the end, going through all the walls. The other candidates asked to be disqualified because it was against the rules, but Lemon confesses that it was her fault. Lucci told her to trick Mash, and in exchange she would pass the test. She accepted because, like Uraraka, her family is poor and being in that school would give her the chance to find a good job. Lucci accepts everything she did, but he can do whatever he wants because he is the superior of them. He disqualifies both of them unless they want to challenge him, and we already know Mash's answer. Because of the big fuss, the principal of the school arrives, a guy very similar to Dumbledore, but here we will call him Principal Wahlberg. He takes Mash for the last test, an interview where besides the principal there are all the teachers. The first question they ask him is, "Why do you want to enter the school?" Mash thinks for a moment and answers, "Because I want a simple life." Then they ask him about the girl he saved and why he did it. Mash answers that if he had not done it he would have regretted it. He is a person who acts without thinking about the consequences. The director seems to like Mash, but before approving him he will do one last test. Face him with something much stronger than him. The spell is to use the person that Mash loves the most, and put his soul in the doll, and if the knife touches it, automatically the person leaves this world. He tries to break the knife, but this time he can't. The director thinks he has won, but Mash won't give up, and with his strength he stops the knife, finishing with the test and being approved by the director. The first part of the plan has been a success. Now it's time to start with the classes and meet his new classmates. One of them is Finn. He introduces himself to Mash, who begins to present his impressive muscles. After introducing himself, Mash asks him about the title of the best student. Finn explains that to get the title you have to earn gold coins, which are given for excellence in grades, activities, school life. In short, you have to be a perfect student. Mash knows it won't be easy, but Finn gives him words of encouragement for both to strive and achieve what they propose. I hope these two become close friends, and that's how we end the first part of this great story. Let the ending sound. Tell me what you think of the video. You know you can support me by subscribing to the channel and giving me like the video. Believe me, you would help me a lot. My name is Alex, and see you tomorrow with a new story. With nothing more to say, good morning, afternoon or evening.